How about we start with old LSU? How about it, Steven? And I've updated these schedules to make sure all the buys are accurate. Putting in the little SEC logos. I mean, we should know by now who's in the conference, but just in case you don't, I think it's helpful to know how many conference games in a row you have. So let's run down LSU schedule real quick for those just listening later on. Oh man, the opener at Clemson. Brian Kelly can't win a damn opener to save his life. This is going to be the most difficult one yet. But maybe this perhaps is his best team. So there's that. At Clemson, week 1. Louisiana Tech at home. Florida at home. Southeast Louisiana at home. That's your first month. Then you're at Ole Miss. You get your bye week. And then your South Carolina comes to LSU. At Vanderbilt. Texas A&M at home. Then you get another bye week. And you're at Alabama. Arkansas at home. Western Kentucky at home. And then at Oklahoma to wrap us up. Steven, as you look at the LSU Tigers, what do you think the over-under win totals should be?
Mike, I am thinking college football playoff for LSU. So I am setting it at 9.5. Couple reasons why. I think when you look at that home slate, Florida, South Carolina, A&M, I think those are all toss-up games. They all come at LSU. They do get Alabama, Ole Miss, and Clemson, and Oklahoma on the road. So there's some good, there's some bad. They do miss Texas and Georgia, and I think those are the two best teams in the conference. So if I'm thinking playoff, and I'm seeing those games, 3 of their tougher games come at home, I think they probably stumble. Maybe you just give them a loss to Clemson in the opener, given the track record, and they stumble at least once in SEC play. So if I was setting this, I like the over, but I think 9.5 seems about right.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I went a little bit lower, and I'm kind of regretting it already, but I said 9. Give me 9 for LSU, given the fact that they have a tough non-conference opener with Clemson. That's the difference for me. Of course, seemingly they always have a tough non-conference opener. I don't know why, but man, the more I hear from LSU fans, Steven, it's playoff or bust. It's Brian Kelly, get his ass out of here if we don't make the playoff this year. You know what I mean? So the expectation is not even to make the playoff. He said it himself. I'm down here to win the national championship. Well, they haven't sniffed that really, other than the first year when they won the Citrus Bowl, and not so much that they won the Citrus Bowl, but they won the West. But that's as close as they've come. And at LSU, they expect more. That's why I'm saying, man, maybe I messed up with a 9, but 9.5 is probably the correct number, because if you get to 10, I think you're in the playoff with this schedule. If you don't, if you hit that 9 number, you're probably out. And man, I think it should be playoff or bust for old LSU.
I agree. I think all the ingredients are there. I mean, you've got your difference maker at quarterback. You've got a defense that should be, despite the returning production numbers, I think they will take a step forward this year. But that schedule does have some absolute landmines. I mean, the track record suggests LSU will lose that game to Clemson, but given how things go, it would not surprise me to see LSU win this game. If you go into Clemson and win in the first week of the season, you're already talking about significantly bumping up expectations. And then you get the tricky road game against Ole Miss, kind of a revenge game for Ole Miss. Vanderbilt, Diego Pavia, probably bound to pull off an upset this year. And of course, we saw Oklahoma pick off Alabama last season. So I think the road schedule is tricky, but I also think if you're expecting playoff and you've got somebody like Nussmeier, I think you got to be shooting for 10-2.
Yeah. How about this? Hey, what's this? Brian Kelly going to disappoint the family down there? Hey.